Hi everyone, welcome to Remote Sensing JISO. I am Shantanu Ghosh. So today we are going to learn about the electromagnetic spectrum and their properties and the different region of electromagnetic spectrum from the shortest wavelength to longest wavelength, that is the cosmic ray, gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet ray, visible range, infrared, thermal infrared, microwave and radio wave. So in the earliest tutorial we have learned about the basics principle of remote sensing and the remote sensing process or the step of remote sensing and the wavelength and frequency and their relationship and advantage of remote sensing. So those are the new in this channel, please subscribe my channel and like, comment, share also. So let's go to our session, that is the electromagnetic spectrum. So today we are learn about electromagnetic spectrum. Okay. So in the earlier session we have learned about the electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation consists of two fields, that is the electric field and magnetic field, and both are field travel as a speed of light. Okay, so when the suns emit the energy passes through the atmosphere and hitting the earth surface different object, that is the land, ocean and different object. After hitting the object, some of the energy directly reflected to the space and some of the energy emitted to the space. Okay, so electromagnetic spectrum consists different of rays from the shortest to longest. The shortest ray is gamma ray and the longest ray is radio wave, microwave. So shortest wavelength, the high frequency, and short wavelength, and the longer wavelength, less frequency and high wavelength. Okay, so now comes to the electromagnetic spectrum. If we are arrange the electromagnetic energy by their frequency and the wavelength, so we have seen about, at first come the gamma rays, X-ray, gamma ray, X-ray, then ultraviolet ray, then is the very narrow portion of visible region, infrared region, radio wave. Okay, so electromagnetic spectrum is the range of all frequency or wavelength of electromagnetic radiation. The electromagnetic spectrum ranges from the shorter wavelength from gamma rays to the microwave and radio wave. Okay, there are the several regions of the electromagnetic spectrum which are useful for remote sensing. So in the remote sensing, electromagnetic spectrum is very useful to identify different features, different their properties, and to learn about the different object. Now comes to the visible region. The visible region consists 0.4 to 0.7 micrometer. The longest wavelength in the visible section, that is the red, and the shortest is violet. Okay, so visible region is very narrow portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, that is the 0.4 to 0.7 micrometer, and it is consist of 7 light, that is E, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. The shortest wavelength in the visible section, that is the violet, and longest is red. So violet consists 0.4 to 0.446 micrometer, blue consists of 0.446 to 0.50 micrometer, and another green, yellow, orange also consist from the this to this micrometer, and red is consist of 0.620 to 0.7 micrometer. Okay, so now comes to the visible blue band, that is consist of 0.45 to 0.52 micrometer. In the Earth atmospheric remote sensing, we have broadly used in the visible spectrum blue, green and red band. So blue band is consist wavelength 0.45 to 0.52 micrometer. It is the greatest water penetration and greatest atmospheric scattering because it is the shortest wavelength. So the shortest wavelength is greatest atmospheric scattering. Okay, and greatest absorption and used for to monitoring water depth, water characteristic and detection of surface feature and soil and vegetation discrimination. So now the question is, why water see as a blue? Because the water absorb green, red and other band or spectrum and reflected only blue. So our eyes only see about the visible portion, that is the 0.4 to 7 micrometer. Due to this reason, our eye only see the blue region, or water reflected the blue and absorb all other bands. So we are see water as a blue. Now comes to the green band, that is consist of 0.5 to 0.60 micrometer. It is useful for vegetation discrimination and useful for urban infrastructure monitoring, and it is less affected by the atmospheric scattering, and it is useful to monitoring the vegetation profile concentration. So now, and same as the water, because vegetation reflected green band and absorb blue, red and other band also, so vegetation looks like green, but it is highly reflected by the green band. Now come to the visible red band, that is consist of 0.63 to 0.69 micrometer. Okay, it is the longest wavelength in the visible spectrum, that is the covering 0.63 to 0.69 micrometer. It is useful for chlorophyll absorption band for healthy green vegetation, and useful for monitoring vegetation type, plant condition. It is less affected by the atmospheric scattering because the red wave is high wavelength. So high wavelength always less scatterings by the atmosphere, and it is the less water penetration, but it is highly useful for near surface feature, that is the water quality, sediment and the chlorophyll. So now question is, why use red color as a traffic signal? Because red is the longest wavelength in the visible spectrum and it is less affected by the atmosphere. So we can see the red light from the very long distance, because it is the longer wavelength and less affected by the atmosphere. So you can easily see the red color. So you have seen the red is always seen about the very long distance clearly, because due to it is the longest wavelength. And now question is the, why use yellow light in the bad weather condition or the foggy condition? Because yellow light penetrated the bad weather conditions, smoke, haze, because there are blue light have a longer wavelength. Okay, yellow light has longer wavelength. It is easily penetrated the smoke haze and easily see by our eyes. So now come into the infrared region. After the visible portion come the visual portion. It is belong to the infrared region. That is, infrared region covers the wavelength range from the 0.7 to 100 micrometer. The infrared region can be divided into two categories by their energy reflected properties, that is the reflected infrared and the emitted thermal infrared. And the infrared is, the reflected infrared is cover wavelength approximately 0.7 to 0.3 micrometer, and the thermal infrared is cover wavelength from approximately 0.3 to 100 micrometer. So in this figure we have seen about the, at first coming in the electromagnetic spectrum, gamma ray, X-ray, then come the ultraviolet and visible. After visible come the infrared. Infrared region, infrared can be divided two portion. One is the reflected infrared, that is the 0.7 to 3 micrometer, and it is used for vegetation purpose, monitoring for vegetation purpose. And after that come for the thermal infrared, that is 3.0 micrometer to 100 micrometer. Okay, so infrared can be divided in three parts, that is near infrared, middle infrared and far infrared. Far infrared, it is depend on the emissivity and radiant and thermal, and reflected is divided by two portions, that is short wave and the longer wavelength. So thermal infrared remote sensing. The thermal and infrared radiance refer to the electromagnetic wave, a wavelength of between 3 and 20 micrometer. So 0.7 to 3.0 micrometer is the reflected infrared, and 3 to 20 micrometer is the thermal infrared. So most remote sensing application make use for the 3 to 5 and 8 to 14 micrometer range due to the absorption band. So why not using 5 to 8? Because the absorption band. The main difference between the thermal infrared and near infrared is the thermal infrared is emitted energy. So thermal infrared is the emit the energy, and where the near infrared is the reflected energy similar to the visible light. So here we can see the a thermal gun. We have seen about the during the COVID situation, anyone use this gun to monitoring the body temperature. So thermal energy emit the energy, and here is the soldier using the thermal optical camera to monitoring in night vision. So here the night imagery we can get from the thermal vision camera. Beyond the visible range our eyes cannot see any region. So during the night time, night vision, you have using the thermal infrared camera to monitoring the different activities or purpose. That is come from microwave remote sensing. So after the visible range come the infrared to microwave remote sensing. That's portion covered to 1 millimeter to 1 meter. Okay, microwave radiation can penetrate through the cloud, fog and all weather condition. It's perfectable, but visible region on the clear atmosphere. During the cloud and any bad weather condition, the visible region cannot penetrate the atmosphere. All about the absorbed by the cloud and atmosphere. So active microwave has night vision capability. So here is the microwave region, that is 1 millimeter to 1 meter, and during the microwave region where is the wavelength meters and frequency in hertz. So in the microwave region use the shorter wavelength to higher wavelength, that is the Ka band, K band, Ku band, X band, C band, S band, L band and P band, and they are different wavelength. Okay, so in the microwave region, shorter wavelength is K band and Ku band, and the longer band is P band and L band. So thank you everyone. In this session we have learned about the electromagnetic spectrum and their properties and their uses. So I hope you understand the electromagnetic spectrum. If you facing any difficulty to understand the electromagnetic spectrum, please comment me on the comment section, and see you in the next lecture. So have a best wishes everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.